Hello, guys. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. We are here with the one, the only, Mr. Mark Rose from Wandering Wolf. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thanks, mate. Cheers for having me on, lads. Loving your work.
You're the local celebrity.
And yours. It's great, isn't it, that there's more Wolves channels about now?
Absolutely, especially when, let's be honest, we've had a mediocre season. It's nice to have, it's nice to be able to get together and have a chat with your mates and, chew the fat. We're not at the pub at the minute, so it's the next best thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, the way that it's gone for us this season, you've got to have a laugh where you can. We obviously we are doing Are You For Real today. Episode 7 is coming along nicely. We're building up a bit of a playlist now. Guys, the players we're looking at today are wingers at Wolves. Pedro Neto, Podence, Adama Traore, and Morgan Gibbs White. As always, we go from number 4 to number 1. Do we let the guest go first, or does the guest wait?
Go on, we'll let Mark go first.
Okay, so I don't think it's closer than what you probably are giving me credit here. But for me, the 4th best winger we have is Morgan Gibbs White, and the reason being is that he hasn't done it at this level. He's a championship player at best, in my opinion. He's a decent championship player. Wow. But I really don't think if we're going to go forward as an established Premier League club with aspirations of the top 6, Morgan Gibbs White doesn't get anywhere near my squad, never mind on the field in the starting 11.
Yeah, I mean, I've always gone for Gibbs White 4th as well. It's a weird one, isn't it, really? Because he has been played as a winger this season. There's arguments for he is more of an attacking mid or much more of a 10, but it doesn't really fit our formation, or it doesn't fit our formation at the moment. I don't know with Morgan. It's a weird one, isn't it? Only 21. I could see in 3 years' time it being one that comes back to bite us if we do let him go. But at the same time, his relationship with the fans for many different reasons is very strange. It's strange now, isn't it? Especially for a homegrown player. What do you make of that, Mark?
I think he's shooting himself in the foot, really, with all these. I don't judge anybody from what they do in their private life or anything like that. But yeah, I'd just get my head down and concentrate on the football. If I was him at his age, trying to get into a League
Could
team.
you argue, though, Mark, with what you just said, get your head down, concentrate on the football? When he was given a chance to play football and get his head down at Swansea this season, he did well. So it's
championship football, though. At the end of the day, it's a level below what we're aspiring to be, at least.
Would you say he's been given a chance in the Prem? Would you say, honestly, in your heart of hearts, he's been given a run of 10, 15 games to say, yeah, I can do it here?
I don't think we can give him 10 to 15 games because we're not in a position where we should allow a player of that limited talent to be in the team. Because
even this season?
Oh, definitely not this season. If I was to give him a chance, it would be the previous season when we weren't, in a relegation scrap. I know we're not now, but let's go back to Crystal Palace when we lost that game. We were in a relegation scrap. We don't need Morgan Gibbs White coming on with these little touches and in pretending to get back. I feel as though I'm being a bit harsh on Morgan Gibbs White, but you're probably right. He hasn't been given a 10 or 15 game run, but my God, if we're giving Morgan Gibbs White a 10, 15 game run in this team, then we are not a Premier League team. We are not just fighting relegation. We are a championship team.
I mean, I'll be honest. I have put Morgan Gibbs White 4th as well, only because as much as I don't rate the next player on my list who's 3rd, at least he's done it in previous seasons. I can't take that away from him. But I've had to give him 4th. But I guess I'm not as quick to write him off. I don't see why he can't play 4 or 5 of the next games. We're not going to go down. And if we do, we really do deserve to go down. But
yeah.
you know,
Oh God, if we go down, no, I
Yeah.
just can't see. Yeah, we're not going down. No.
I would be willing to play him just to see. And listen, if he does okay, not where we want him to be, but let's say he does okay, a promoted team may take a punt on him because of his age and spend 20 million on him.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
If Swansea get up. If Swansea get up, they might think, let's have him back. I think they seem to love him, didn't they? They saw a very different side of him to us. I think he did a lot of charity work, kept his head down.
Yeah.
I mean, he's let's just say his personal life, the person in his personal life also seemed to like Swansea. I mean, you can't really blame her for not liking Wolverhampton too much.
How dare you?
Places, you don't see anyone else's partner coming out and slandering it. So, I don't know. It's a bit. It's one of them, and it's a shame, especially for a homegrown player. But I almost feel for both parties, it's probably best for him to move on.
I think you're both right. You are both right in the fact that Scott, you were right to say that Swansea are a better fit for him because of their style of play. I don't think he fits in Nuno's team, if I'm being perfectly honest. And James, you're right in saying that it's probably right to give him a little bit of a go because he's in the shop window for us. And if we can get 20 odd million for him because of his age, then I think it would be best for both parties if he does leave, because we should be, as a very, very rich club with business owners who want to get us to the next level, they should be probably getting rid of, let's be honest, he's no better than Cavallo. Why is he better than him? I know he's a different type of player, but we got rid of Barry Douglas because he didn't cut it. We got rid of Helder Costa. He's no better than Helder Costa to me.
No, he's not. He's not. No.
So what we're getting rid of these players to go to the next level. So let's go to the next level. Let's get that money for him. And
I guess when you do compare him to a Costa or Cavallero, those types of players,
what did I say? I said Cavalier or something, didn't I? Ford Cavalier.
Carvalho. I thought you meant Cavallero, but I was like, I'm sure everybody else knows exactly what you mean.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
Let's move on because we've already spent quite a long time talking about fourth. I'll start. And I don't think this will be a surprise to many people, especially if they watch our channel with my opinions.
Yeah.
Adama's third, and he's closer to fourth for me than second by a long way.
Yeah, 100%. Like, God, I am so with you. Like,
Thank you. Scott, do you want to jump in here and?
Yeah, Scott, are you the Traore fanboy?
I'm not a massive Adama. I'm not like some people that absolutely adore the bloke, but
come on, be honest.
I'm gonna have to put Podence third, and bear with me for a second here. Right, we've only had Podence for a year.
You're doing this just for clickbait. You're just doing it for bites.
I'm not honestly.
Are you not?
I accept a lot of stuff right about Adama. I think
this is why no one takes us seriously. This is why this channel isn't taken seriously. This man scores goals against Chelsea. He dragged us.
Adama got 2 against City last year.
I think that'll be on his gravestone, won't he? I get Scott. Like to a certain point, I don't get.
Don't drop down to his level, Mark. Don't drop down to his level.
He's missing Jimenez. He's missing Jimenez for the outlet, but he's not on the same planet as Podence. I put Podence closer to first than I would.
100%.
I think he's different gravy altogether. Podence is what keep him fit, build the team around him and Neto.
Like, and he can play in that number 10 if we need him to. He could play in that inside. Not only Podence can play in more positions than Adama can play with players. If Raul doesn't play, he's fucked. He's only got one player at his disposal.
Yeah.
He has more positions and players available.
It's odd because, I actually agree with everything you're saying. I think Podence is brilliant. The reason I've done it, though, is we've had him, for 12 months now. we've not really seen that much of him. I don't think he's an injury-playing player. I think he's probably just had a bit of bad luck. But I don't know. It's one of them, innit? I think I'm one of them people there. I know a lot of people wanted to get rid of Adama after the first year, and I was like, no, he's got something Adama has. Bear with it. And then I thought I was going to be
Messi for 20 games or Adama for 50.
It's fair.
Joe, it's a little hard though, in it on Adama, because he hasn't had Raul, but didn't he also play most of the first part of the season with a dislocated shoulder or a shoulder injury? And we just
I don't think it was dislocated. I think people are taking that well out.
Well, it was a shoulder injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe that Nuno has got the best out of that player. You look at where he has been and what he has done. Nuno has literally wrung him dry of all the skill. His skill level is at the maximum it can be. You cannot say that about Podence and Neto. Like, they are on a different planet altogether. I really think if we keep Podence and Neto, we're a top 6 club in a couple of years' time. I really feel strongly about that.
3 of Neto inverted, Podence inverted, Raul. I mean, just keep saying.
But that's it. It's like, and it's like, how many goals have we scored this season? Like, stupidly low amount, and it's because Podence and Raul Jimenez have not been involved in hardly any of them. They are the attacking threat that we have missed so much. And I get it with Traore. He is one of these players where he's an enigma. Like, he comes on, and you've already got 4 defenders on him because of his pace. But Tony Daly was quick. Do you know what I mean?
There's loads of players like that. He's just a quicker version of like an Aaron Lennon, who Aaron Lennon was a very good footballer. Underrated.
And he can cross a ball, Aaron Lennon.
I mean,
Traore can't.
You've just touched on that. This is an argument that Adama fanboys throw at me all the time. Look how many crosses he put in for Raul. Yes, but a lot of those crosses were very, very bad, and Raul made the most of it. Those crosses are not good, but Raul is so good that he just makes... Raul made Adama go from a £20 million player to a £70 million player. Now we're seeing why he's a £15 million player.
One thing I would say is I think if we could have cashed in on him in the summer, I think we probably should have. It's a weird one, actually, because I always do this considering potential. And I don't think maybe I've considered potential as much as I usually do on these.
But he's not 21 anymore.
Because I think Podence does have a lot of potential. Do you know what, though? One thing I would say about Adama, do you think he's one of those players that really bounces off the fans? Because the way he carries himself on the pitch, he's quite egotistical, isn't he? I feel like the fans...
Scott, he wouldn't have this season.
No,
he would have took an absolute hammering this season. Yeah. And if he takes anything from the fans, it would have been, his level would have dropped, because he would have took an absolute hammering. He is nowhere near the player that he was last season. Nowhere near. And like, it is a shame that we didn't cash out last season, because I think Nuno really, really rates him. And I don't know whether he's going to... The only way he's going to leave this summer is if he doesn't sign another contract. I think Nuno wants him to sign another contract. I really do.
I think he's actually refusing to, isn't he, at the moment? I think he maybe thinks he's worth more than he's been given. Do you know what, though? To be fair, like, I've put Podence third, but I think it's more for the fact I don't think we've quite seen enough of him.
I think you're going to be very, very, very surprised on who I'm putting 1 and 2. And
I wouldn't be annoyed if you put Podence ahead of Neto. I wouldn't personally. I'd like to see your reasons as to why. Yeah. But there's more justification of Adama being below Gibbs White than Podence being below Adama. I can't believe you've done that. You've done that just to
we've not seen a lot of him.
You just want to piss me off.
We've not seen an awful lot of him yet, and he's a bit one of those players. He does have great moments, but at times he's a Podence. He can be a bit inconsistent.
What, more than
I've seen? Yeah, Podence at times can be a bit inconsistent. He can often, in the attacking position, play a wrong ball, or his passing accuracy isn't.
Who are we talking about here?
Podence. It could be a
I don't understand what's going on. Weren't Podence's stats very good until he got injured? When Raul was still in the team and we were firing, because at one point, after I might be wrong, we were 6th in the league, 7th in the league. We were doing quite well, looking to do what we've done for the previous seasons.
Yeah.
Look, if Podence pretty good, if Podence plays another 15 games, my order will probably switch. But because we've not seen a lot of him, I've put him third.
Yeah,
should we just move on to who's second then?
Yeah.
I mean, oh God.
My seconds, I've gone for Pedro Neto second.
No, you haven't. You're taking it. Yeah. I was about to walk away.
Thinking, who's left?
Adama's my second, which is pretty obvious. I'll let you guys just go.
I mean, so have I got this right? Have you gone for Neto second there, Mark?
I have. It was very,
That's baffling as well. I must admit, baffling for me. I'd love to hear your justification. What?
I believe that it comes down to age and experience. I think Neto will be better. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be absolutely world class. And this season, he's been a revelation for us. There's no question. Yeah. I'm going on experience. I'm going on European experience. I'm going on the fact that Podence has done it at Olympiacos. He's done it against some really, really great defences. I know Neto has. Don't get me wrong. Neto for me, it's very, very. It's wafer thin for me. But I believe that Podence, when he gets the ball, similar to Neto, but in a different way, the trickery. The way he thinks about the game, I think he's low centre of gravity. I just think he brings, and he's more adaptable in the team. As you said, he can play in different positions.
Play the 10 role, can't he?
Absolutely, yeah. I think he's made for the 10 role. If we go that way, then he's perfect in there. Might be a little bit injury prone, but at which you're right, Scott, he might be. But for me, when I see his name on the team sheet, I feel as though it brings a different dimension to the team. Bit more than Neto, because we all know Neto, when he gets the ball, he uses it brilliantly and he's really quick and he skips past defenders. But Podence does all these things as well. But I think brain-wise, it's mentally on the pitch, he can see a pass from anywhere.
His performance... Sorry, carry on.
I just think there's a little asterisk there about how fit he's going to be going forward. But for me, we've just touched upon the front three, Podence, Neto, Raul Jimenez.
Wow.
I that. Any team, bar probably City, would go, oh my God, that's a front. That I want that front three.
That's
United are going to be like, oh my God, that's a really, really good front three.
Especially when they've got Daniel James now playing a lot of football on their wing. I mean, imagine Podence behind those three with someone else of quality on that left or right hand side. I mean, that's one of the best in the league without being biased.
I'd love Podence. I'd love us to go back four, and I'd love to see Podence, Neto, Traore, and Jimenez all play together. To be honest, that would be.
Why do you have to ruin every team selection by dropping the goal? I don't get what are you doing there?
I don't mind that. I tell you what, if you see that on a team sheet, you think, well, they ain't come for a draw, have they? I don't think.
Very true.
It's horses for courses. At the end of the day, I think that you need a strong midfield. We could talk about this for hours. I know we're talking about the wingers, but primarily, let's be honest, in this Wolves team, the spine of the team needs a rethink. I think we need the nucleus is there, but is it good enough to take us to the next level? Like, I think we've got some wonderful players that have been injured this season, and going forward, I think it's very exciting. I know we're all a bit doom and gloom and stuff, and we're 13th, 14th in the league. That's like this league. When we talk about football in years to come, this will be the year where football just forget everything that happened. There's no fans there. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. So when we do get back and we get back to some semblance of normality, then let's judge our team. Let's judge like our players. And when we get that full team out, I am very, very excited. Very excited.
I don't want to bring it too far away from the subject we're talking about, but in terms of the injuries, I always flip with this. I'm quite flippant on this subject. Sometimes I do give us the benefit of the doubt, but then I look how many injuries Leicester's had. Have you seen the players that they don't have available, like Soyuncu, Maddison, VAR? These are Ndidi. The list goes on. We've only, let's be honest, apart from Johnny Bowley for a few months, obviously Raul and Podence, 2 or 3 at one time, our squad is bare bones garbage.
Really garbage. I completely agree with that. But for me, Leicester are a team that we should aspire to, because you put those two squads together. What they have is, as you've said, rightly said, squad depth. They have got
our best 11 next to theirs isn't a million miles away. Well, the
Premier League games.
Yeah.
Just look at the games that we play against them. It's always tight against Leicester.
It's combined 11 would be 5 or 6 players from each team. I think that's what it would be. But their squad depth is just it's one of the best in the league. Never mind just in general. From the top 4 teams, it's one of the best squads in the league.
I completely agree. I think they'll win the FA Cup. I really do. I really do. I think they're a really, really good team, and a team that we should really aspire to be. They've won the Premier League in the last 5 years, and they're still not talked about as a top 6 club. Not really, but not by the people who know stuff.
Before we get people commenting saying I thought this was a Wolves channel, not a Leicester channel.
Fair.
I've obviously gone Neto top, and I'm sure you have, Scott. Obviously, you've got Neto as second there, Mark.
Yes.
In your opinion, what would Neto have to do in the next 12 months to be not only top, but clear comfortably?
I think he will be.
Okay.
I really do. Next year, I think we're going to see an even better version of Pedro Neto. This is purely going on now. If I was to put him in the team now and they were fully fit, I think Neto is not only a top 6 player already. I think he's world class. I really, really do. I think he's going to get lots and lots of caps for Portugal. I think he's going to do some wonderful, wonderful things. And if we do keep that lad, I have no issue with us and the team going forward. He's what aspiration wise, he's the guy that we need to keep. And if we do sell him, it will be very disappointing, and it will tell us where we are as a club.
Well, we did a video, didn't we, Scott? Potentially Wolves' first ever £100 million player.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah.
We didn't say that in jest, did we? We weren't doing it for bait. We weren't being biased. We legitimate 21 years of age. Everyone's talking about Foden and Saka. This guy's stats are up there.
Yeah,
I think as well, the one thing we have is we've signed him to a 5-year deal, which means we can probably keep him for at least a couple of more. Even then, 3 years left on the contract, we can still demand a good fee. Well, let's hope it don't get to that, because what we don't want to have to do is do a Zaha situation with Palace where they've held him at ransom for
Let me go.
I think we have to be careful with saying that, because let's although we have billionaire owners and whatever the case may be, let's not forget, with all due respect, we are Wolves. It doesn't matter how rich our owners are. It doesn't matter how nice Jeff Shee is. If Juventus come in, or Madrid or Man U, you can't. Would you have a go at him? You can't blame the club if he wants to leave and they say here's £80 million and Neto says, "Oh, the Bernabeu." Nah.
I think it's the Madrid and Barca which would scare me, especially with the obviously Portuguese probably dream more
even
of playing
City,
in the Spanish league.
Bayern Munich. There's talks of Gnabry being sold, so he could slot into Munich's team very easily. Is that good?
Yeah, I do completely understand that. I understand where we are as a football club. We are a mid-table Premier League team,
at the moment.
and that's fine. But there are ways, as you've said, we've signed him to a contract, signed to a very long contract. I don't see why, for his development, especially under Nuno, which he obviously loves playing for.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be. I think it would be a backward step if he went to a City and just sat on the bench, because that's all he would be doing.
I completely agree, because I think obviously we've got him on that 5-year deal. He's 21 years of age. Let's say we keep him for another 3 years. He's still only 24. He's got 8-9 years then to go and play at the top team, and as you say, not just be sitting on the bench, being maybe one of the headline players there as well. I mean, and I don't know. The thing is with Neto as well. I'm really excited to see this Neto now with Raul, because this Neto now has improved so much this season compared to the Neto of last season. Yeah. I just think that's going to be a whole new dynamic. I'm really excited to see when Raul comes back. Hopefully, he comes back the same guy.
This
is
the Adama argument that I hate. It's the same thing with Adama. Look at the service he's been having. Look at the service. Neto's had that exact same dead team, and he's outclassing him. So everyone's saying, "Oh, look what Adama will do with Raul. Look at what Neto could do with a team." Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, I absolutely 100% agree. I think this team has all the capabilities of. I'll say it. We could be a top 4 team. I don't think that's beyond the realms of possibility. And like that obviously, Wolves fans, whatever. But you've got to look that far ahead. Leicester City are not a big team in the grand scheme of things. They're not. Great. They have bought really well. They've got rich owners, and they've bought the right players at the right time. Yeah. Let's look at when they won the Premier League. Like half their team left them, for pastures new, and look where they are now. They're still fighting for Champions League football. There's a cycle, and like we're not there yet, but we can be if we keep these players and we.
I completely agree.
One thing that Leicester knew how to do well was obviously they sold Maguire, for example, for 80 million. Which is laughable, isn't it now?
He won't get the Leicester team now.
I know. Maybe that's something we're going to have to learn to manage. When is the right time to think we're getting 20-30 million more than what this player is worth? Maybe the Adama case was an example. If as things were being reported, we could have got 50-60 million for him. Whether it's true, we don't know, but that's what was being reported.
It depends on the player, his age. Like, for example, if Juventus came in and said, here's 30 million for Jimenez, I'd rather have Jimenez, because that 30 million for a top striker is not a lot. Jimenez is more important to us. But if he said to me, here's 90 million pounds for Neto, you do think, well, if we can get a very, very good centre-back, or maybe 2, it depends on the player. I mean, £6.50 for Adama, you have to take it. It feeds the players for lunch. You have to take it. But I think it depends on who you're talking to, how long's their contract. Like, if someone said, here's 3 million for Roman Saiss, I'd probably say no, because he can play 3 or 4 positions and he's consistent. Yeah, he's not good on the eye. He plays for Morocco. But for me, I probably wouldn't take 10 million for Roman Saiss. I'll be honest.
No, I don't. I agree. I think he's worth his weight in gold. That bloke, because as you say, he's incredibly versatile, and he's had to be because of the threadbare squad. That's a perfect player for Nuno. That is. We haven't got enough players for this position. Roman, come on, lad. Get in there, and that's just it. That's just the way that he likes to work. He likes versatility from his players, and that's one of the reasons why I like Podence so much, because I think he, as a forward player, I think he's the most versatile that we have. Like,
Well, just for people that have maybe skipped towards the end of the video just to find out who you put number one, what was your order again there, Mark? Just so people may have missed it.
My order was fourth, Morgan Gibbs-White. Third was Adama Traore. Second, for the time being, is Pedro Neto, but definitely going to be first going forward. And Podence was number one for me, because I just think he's a wonderful player and incredibly versatile.
And if anyone did miss that, go back and watch it, and you do explain in some detail as to why. I think you are correct. Scott, I mean, quickly, just give us your order again and get it. just run it off.
No judgment, Scott. No judgment,
right, so fourth, I went for Morgan Gibbs-White. Everyone's on board. They're all nodding their head. Third, I went for Podence. I explained why, but in short summary, injuries, and I don't think we've seen enough of him. I think he will easily become second or first. Second was Traore, and then first, Neto.
I mean, for everyone that's enjoyed sweet and sour soccer over the last 2 months, I hope you've had fun, because this is the death of our channel. We've put good money into this on software, paying for services, logos, banners, and a lot hours have gone into this channel. And then for one video, and you've put Adama ahead of Daniel Podence. You see, this is the end of our channel, and I feel bad that Mark's had to waste his time on this.
Hey, there's no wrong answers. Except
I like
for the one that you've just said.
Except for that one, yeah. I mean, guys, this has been sweet and sour soccer. I mean, I'm just going to go, and I've got another bottle of Bailey's. I normally drink it. I'm going to need it now.
Go on, mate.
If you have enjoyed the ride up until this point, thanks for subscribing and enjoying the videos. Mark, if you ever need a third presenter for a channel, I'm out of a job now. Let me know.
I'll bump Craig off. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll bump him off.
Well, until that happens, you're stuck with me.
Well, lads, can I just say you're doing a fantastic job. Please don't stop the channel. It's absolutely wonderful.
It's out of our hands. It's gone. It's out of our hands.
Is that it now? It's, the plug's been pulled. That's it. It's game over. It's brilliant.
The last time, and.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, make sure you go and subscribe to the Wandering Wolf as well. Some great content on there.
Bless you, lads.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Thanks.